GSW Indian Sports Circuit, CCI International 2017, final match between Saurav Ghosal of India to serve, Nicolas Muller of Switzerland to receive. Best of 5 games. Lavore.
Here we go, Karan. It'll be interesting to see how they handle their nerves in the first few points of the match. It's always the hardest part, especially in such a big final.
Down.
It's a good first rally, I think.
And out. 1 love.
Using the corners, finding their length.
I mean, I think that's what Nicky's going to try to do. Spread the court out for Saurav to move him around as much as he can. Saurav, on the other hand, is trying to contain Nicky a little bit because he has a very good straight game, and very soon in the game you're going to start seeing him use his floating lobs and counter shots.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, lad.
That's a good call.
Yes, man. 1 love.
Good start with the refs. It's a great shot for Saurav.
Fantastic control of pace.
And out. 1 all.
Fairly quick court. That was a very intelligent shot play.
First couple of rallies shows us like the game is going to be very interesting with like both players trying to move the ball around. It's not going to be like a very steady, deep game. It's going to be both players are shot makers. They're going to try to like improvise whenever they can.
Absolutely. As you can see, Saurav cleverly using his body there and shutting Nicky out.
Well, Saurav was trying to stay ahead. He's been ahead of Nicky throughout this rally. Nicky is very dangerous in the middle of the court, so going in, I know Saurav is going to try to stay in front of him as much as he can.
Yes, lad.
Yes, lad. 2-1.
Both players starting to settle in a little bit now. Field.
One has to think that these conditions definitely favor Saurav. I mean, Nicky, being originally from Switzerland and training in Paderborn in Germany, must definitely be feeling the effects of the conditions on court.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with you. It's this really hot and bouncy court, and Saurav training in India, it definitely gives him an advantage. But at the same time, I believe Nicolas beat Saurav on the same court last year, so he's the kind of player who adapts well in these conditions. And this being it's not the first round, the second round, this being the final. I think he's had enough of time in India to adapt to the situation.
Absolutely, that is a great point. This is in fact a rematch of last year's quarterfinal match where Nicky actually took that 3-2, 15-13 in the 5th. So we are definitely in for a treat today.
But that's a great shot by Nicky. He's just so dangerous around that middle of the court.
And out. 2-3.
Also, there's a big difference in size between the two players. Nicky is, I think, around 6'1" and somewhere around there, I would say.
That sounds about right, yeah.
And Saurav is like a 5'8", 5'9". And it just shows like Nicky, if you look at his movement, his lunging and his reach on the ball.
It's fantastic.
And Saurav is like faster footwork, but he takes more steps to get to the ball. So it's two different styles of moving.
Nicky controlling the pace nicely here on this rally.
Oh, this is lucky bounce to the back corner. And 3-all in the first few minutes of the game.
3-all.
Karan, I know your dad is the main organizer and one of the main guys behind this event. I mean, it's amazing to have a squash court on a cricket field in India because cricket is the dominant sport in this country. Like, how do you come up with the idea and like how do you manage it? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dad has always been very passionate about squash and obviously wanted to bring it to India at the big stage as well. So he's been working tirelessly with the PSA as well as his own brand Ivy Sports to get it in. Of course, with fantastic sponsors like the CCI and JSW, this tournament has become an annual event on the PSA calendar.
Yes, lad.
it's another good call by the refs.
Yes, lad. 3-all.
I think Nikki had enough space to play that.
I think it's important to set the standards early as well. I think it allows the players to know exactly where the refs' heads are at and sets a tone for the rest of the match.
Yep, and consistency as well is the key. Saurav had a similar call before, which they played a let, because after a few times the similar situation, the player would know that he's not going to get a stroke on that, and he's going to try to play the ball.
Absolutely. Both players working each other to all corners of the court. Fantastic to see this.
Just clips the tin.
And out. 4-3.
Nikki had control of the rally, but Saurav, he gets so many balls back, it ends up putting a lot of pressure on his opponents, and that's a pure example of his physicality on the court.
Down. 5-3.
Once again, Nikki just clipping that top of the tin, and just like that, opens up a 2-point advantage for Saurav.
I think it's a stage of the game where Saurav is going to try to pull away, and Nikki has to like contain those errors and win the next couple of points if he wants to stay in the first game.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have seen over the course of the week Saurav really making a push in the middle of the game to establish that distance between him and his opponent. So as you rightfully pointed out, Nikki's going to have to be very careful here on these middle stages.
Another interesting fact, I would like to see the number of errors Saurav has made this week, because I think he's just cut down on the mistakes he's been making, and he's forcing the players to play more winners, and that could be a reason why Nikki is trying to be very precise with the
Hand
shot
out.
making
4-5.
to kind of put the ball away.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Fantastic length there from Nikki, pulling one back. 4-5.
Nikki is finding great depth on the court. He's kind of feeling the corners better than Saurav at this point in time. That's probably the longest rally in the match so far. Both players looking for the opening, trying to push each other to the deep corners before they can take it in short.
Nice exchange there in the front. Back to level pegging on that backhand alley.
Another mistake by Nikki.
Fantastic rally.
And
Fantastic rally from both players.
6-4.
It's a real test of mettle here on the middle stages of the game. Saurav showing a lot of strength in that last rally.
Saurav again is staying ahead in this rally, keeping Nikki behind him for most of it. That's a great cross court. Just manages to get that back. It's a nice medium pace. A lot of people thought it would be like a very fast game, but I think both players are trying to feel each other out before they start stepping up and trying to take the ball early and attacking each other.
Absolutely, and I think the time on court for both players is really told, and they've understood the score very well, and they're adapting to the conditions fantastically.
It's another long rally and another error by Nicolas.
7-4.
Saurav pulling away. 7-4 up in the first game.
Good service, please, quickly.
I think that's been the difference so far. You can't really find much between them, but Saurav's just been more steady in those crucial points, in those longer rallies, forcing Nicky to make those mistakes, and that's been the difference thus far.
I mean, I think this match is going to be a good test for Nicky's physicality as well, because he's not really been pushed in this tournament so far, and right now that's what Saurav is trying to do. He's trying to stretch the game, stretch the rallies out as long as he can, and it'll be a real test to see if Nicky can actually stay with him throughout towards the end of the game. It's a great shot.
Well played. Fantastic from Saurav Ghosal. Really using
8-4.
all corners of the court there as he pulls away to a 4-point lead at 8-4. Fantastic length there from Nicky. Really reading that post early on, getting on it early,
5-8.
and sending Saurav deep to the backhand corner.
Crucial rally coming up for Nicky. Stay in the first game. Another unforced error by Nicolas.
And out. 5.
Could also be Nicolas is a little nervous stepping into the game. As he said yesterday, it's his first 50k event final. And even last time they played, I think Saurav was 2 games up.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
Ghosal,
Nicky found his way back into that game. Saurav's looking extremely strong though in this first game as he brings up 5 game balls.
10-5 game ball.
It's a great get by Saurav.
Fantastic reach from Saurav, really doing a great job of containing Nicky's attacks and reaping the rewards richly.
Oh, it just clips the tin in the front right corner.
Hand out 6-10 game ball.
Both players using all 4 corners of the court. Oh, that's a great hold by Saurav.
Just like that, he sends Nicky the wrong way, and that's the first game to Saurav Ghosal.
6 game to Ghosal. Ghosal leads 1 game to love. Love all.
Saurav starting level second game.
Do you think Nicolas would have changed the strategy in this game and he's going to try something different, or do you feel he's just going to try to play the same game and cut out those mistakes that he was making in the first?
Absolutely. I think, he was definitely playing a fantastic game, and it was just the unforced errors that saw him lose that first one. I think he needs to just stay a little more patient and continue to work Saurav. But Saurav has done an absolutely fantastic job of containing Nicky.
Saurav is using the height of the court amazingly, and that's something like a lot of juniors in India need to learn, because we play in such hot conditions. We don't really use the height of the court.
Hand out. One love.
Tight from Nicky there on that backhand volley drop. Good way to start that second game. Nice long drawn out rally.
Again, the ball just clipping the tin, the front right hand side.
1-all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, lad. 1-all.
Let ball for interference in Nicky's swing. Saurav serving, 1-all from the right.
Saurav taking the ball nice and early.
Saurav controlling this rally really well. Oh, that's a great shot by Nicky. Wow, that's an amazing rally.
Serve to Muller.
That's just a great example of why they call him the Swiss Rocket. Fantastic hands in the front of the court.
2-1.
Nicky Muller.
Karan, I think we should come up with a nickname for Saurav as well. PJ and Joey call him the Mongoose.
I don't know how I feel about that as a fellow Indian, but what about you?
Yeah, I think because this is India, we could give him another nickname that maybe they could start using, being the host country.
Absolutely,
I guess,
absolutely. Maybe
we have the right to establish his nickname before they do.
Absolutely, absolutely. For viewers who are willing to put an input, definitely tweet at Drummith and give us a few suggestions.
Yes, sir.
Another long rally.
2-1.
I think both players starting to feel it a little bit in the beginning of the second game.
Fantastic land from Nicky.
That's a great shot from Nicolas. Well, it's an important game for Nicolas, and he started strong with this game, and he's to continue playing squash as freely as he is right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Safety let call by the referee.
Yes, lad. 3-1.
Great shot from Nicky again. His reach is just fantastic. Saurav is doing a wonderful job of making the court as big as possible for the big man from Switzerland. But that's just a fantastic drop to the front backhand corner.
4-1.
Seems like Nicky started to find his range in this game. He's very solid around the middle and the front parts of the court, and Saurav, in the first game, he kept the ball very deep and away from his racket, but a few openings from Saurav and Nicky too experienced not to make full use of it.
Absolutely. Scrappy play there in the middle of the court, but Saurav coming out on top.
Hand out. 2-4.
Nicolas has to be a little patient right now. Can't give away cheap points like these in a big final with someone against someone like Saurav who's been in top form.
packed house here today at the CCI. Juniors, members, well-wishers of the Indian squash family as well. It's wonderful to see such a fantastic event here in India and a packed house for the final day.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Like it's been a packed house from the first day, and it's always good to see a lot of kids around. And I wish we could have a few more of these in India.
Certainly.
A bit of contact around the middle of the court. Another long rally. Both players using all four corners of the court, as I mentioned before. That's a great shot by Saurav.
Absolutely fantastic. And there we see the crowd getting behind the Indian.
3-4.
Well, I think it's the stage of the match where like the physical part is going to start to kick in, especially these guys since they're moving all around the court. It's very free play, using all four corners of the court.
Ball just staying in there.
Down.
That's very honest by Nicolas. Just walking away since
Four
the ball
all.
clipped it in. It's always good to see that, like fellow squash players respecting each other on court.
Yes, lad. Need to play them, Muller.
What do you think,
Sufficient
Karan?
front ball.
It's a tough goal. Definitely
Yes,
loose
man.
ball down the center of the
4-all.
court. One can argue that Nicolas did have a line to the ball, but tough goal. Let given.
Well, very quickly Saurav has equalized at 4-all in the second game.
Yes, lad. You had the ball was sticking to the wall. You had a line. You had a line.
Saurav's got to stay composed tonight.
Yes, man. 4-all.
Absolutely. I think Saurav just got to keep his head in the game, neutralize the pressure that Nicky's putting on him just as he has in the first game. Not let these scores get the better of him.
It's tight rail by Saurav. Picking up the court. Good exchange in the front corners. Oh wow.
Fantastic point there. Both
Nicolas,
them.
Nicolas getting
Hand
fired
out,
up.
5-4.
Once again, fairly even here in the middle stages of the game. Again, Nicky pull away this time.
Nicolas choosing to change it up and serve from the left box this time.
Has there typically been any thought process behind that, or is that just something that players do?
No, it's. I'm sure there's some thinking going into that. I think he just felt Saurav might take him in with like an attacking drop on the backhand side. He should have switched it up.
Need to go there and play those balls.
It's again
Yeah,
contentious
yeah.
goal there.
You had a line to the right of Ghosal.
Nicky quite animated.
To the right of Ghosal.
Well, the referee said he should have moved from the right side instead of going for the player, and a no let has been given. Saurav serving 5-5 from the right. Just clips it in. Well, it's the stage of the game that Nicky has to be a little more careful and
6-5.
a little more precise with his shot making.
I don't know about you, Ramit, but I definitely feel that Saurav's definitely looking the more confident player right now. Nicky breathing slightly hard. And just as I say that, fantastic length to the backhand corner.
Hand out, 6-all.
Well, most of the rallies, if you see, the backhand side has been the dominant side in this match. Both players like playing the ball on that side, and it's strength for both of them. And yeah,
Commentators curse there. Nicky showing some fantastic movements all corner of the court.
current 6-all in this game. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I think the next 2 points are crucial, Ramit, I think.
Nicky clipping the tin again.
Hand out,
I
7-6.
think the mistakes have been making the difference so far in the match.
Absolutely. I mean, both players showing some fantastic length, fantastic movement to each corner of the court. But just those unforced errors from Nicky definitely is undoing.
As I mentioned at the beginning, I don't think Saurav has made an error so far in this game, and probably maybe just 1 or 2 in the match so far.
8-6.
That really has made the difference, and I think, as you rightfully pointed out as well, this tournament he's been fantastic with allowing the opponent to beat him as opposed to giving them 3 unforced errors. Nice recovery there from Ghosal.
Oh, that's an amazing shot by Nicolas.
Hand out,
And the crowd showing their
7-8.
support. Once again, a fantastic example of Nicky Muller's hands.
It's also good to see the crowd supporting the non-Indian player, appreciating the beauty of his shot making.
Certainly, Nicky a favorite here definitely when he's not up against an Indian. Second time at the CCI International.
It's also an amazing quality that he has wherever he plays. He kind of gets the crowd onto his side, and is always smiling and enjoying his squash.
That's what I have heard. He's definitely a crowd favorite wherever he goes, and a happy player who is well respected amongst his peers as well.
Well, Nicky is not sure about the pickup in the front right corner, but the rally goes on. Look good to me.
We saw the ball good. We saw the ball good.
Nicky audibly frustrated here at the court.
I
Thought
mean,
the
this
ball
is what I
was
see.
a double.
I saw the ball good.
He's having a word with the referee now.
We saw it good.
Tough to see from this
hand
angle.
out, 9-7.
Once again, 2-point lead for Saurav, 9-7 second game.
Great touch by Saurav.
10-7, game ball.
Just really thinking the point through Saurav here, moving Muller to every corner of the court, seeing his opening and playing to his strengths. Fantastic to see the Indian. Just like that, 10-7, game ball in second game.
Yes, lad.
Referee thinks
Yes, lad.
there was enough space for
10-7,
Nicolas to play
game
that.
ball.
Saurav serving 10-7 from the left.
Down,
Ball just clipping the tin.
hand out, 8-10, game ball.
Nicolas still hanging in. Great exchange in the front backing corner. Oh, this is
Fantastic.
an amazing rally.
11-8.
Once
Game to
again,
Ghosal.
the
Ghosal
thunderous
leads
applause of the crowd.
2 games to love.
Saurav takes the second game, and just like
third game. I'm sure Saurav is going to make a big push in this game to close it.
great length there from Saurav. Wonderful way to open up this third game.
1 love.
Nicky going for the big shot there off the service return.
Not up.
Great touch to the front corner of the court.
2 love.
Saurav has been moving and very well, and I get a sense that that started to kick in now as Nicky looks a little exhausted in this game.
Absolutely, he's going to have to be intelligent here, because if he's not, Saurav's going to pull away, and just like that, this might not end as well as Nicky would like it to.
Again, Saurav using very well from the front corner, forcing that error.
3 love.
Saurav playing very freely, frustrating Nicky.
Kindly avoid movement in the sides, please. Settle down.
Referee is restoring order here.
Down.
Well, I mean, Saurav could not have asked for a better start, and Nicky could not have
4 love.
imagined a worse.
Nicky does look a bit tired, and mentally as well, you see he's getting a little more frustrated than he was in the first 2 games. Saurav just needs to stay composed and keep playing the squash he has been playing.
Down. 5-love.
Well, Saurav quickly moving to 5-love in the third.
Fantastic squash from Saurav. Finding his corners, extending Nicky Muller.
6-love.
He's running away with this now, Ramit.
Yeah, exceptional display of control by Saurav, moving Nicky corner to corner and then putting the ball away when he got the opportunity.
Once again, the commentator's curse. Great hold from Nicky,
1-6.
straightening that ball out on the forehand.
Yes, lad. You moved into the other. You need to play
Leg
those
called by
courses.
the referees.
Yes, sir. 1-6.
The referee feels Saurav created interference because of his movement and henceforth calling that a let and not a stroke ball.
He's sort of smart to walk away. He's got the momentum.
Down. Hand out. 7-1.
One too many unforced errors here from Nicky. Visibly exhausted after a fantastic week of squash. I think his leg's just giving up on him today.
Another great shot. A nice little cross-cut drop. Nicky trying to get the crowd behind him.
Hand out.
This is fantastic to see. This is why he's so loved on the circuit.
Hand out.
Still keeping his head up,
2-7.
still fighting hard.
One of the few unforced errors Saurav has made in this
3-7.
match.
This exchange is there in the front, extending the court. Great shot from Nicky.
Nicolas getting the crowd behind him, trying to use momentum
4-7.
to kind of catch up
Right
this,
side.
in this crucial third game to stay in the match. It's very important for Saurav to stay composed at this stage in the match.
Again, we see Nicky controlling this rally.
Moving Saurav corner to corner.
Oh,
That's an amazing
fantastic
shot.
finish. And the CCI crowd comes alive again as Nicky Muller is
5-7.
clawing his way back into this third game and into the match as well.
Nicky is making it very clear he's not going to go down without a fight tonight.
No let. Need to play that, Mr. Ghosal. Sufficient room in the front wall.
And a very, very interesting call there, referee. An almost identical situation in the first game. No let given this time.
6-7.
And just like that, 6-7.
Exhibition
out.
serve by Nicolas there,
8-6.
being rightly punished by Saurav. 8-6 in the third game, Saurav serving. I just get a sense Saurav is
7-8.
losing a bit of focus.
Absolutely. Nikki riding the energy of the crowd a little bit. They don't want to see this done in 3. They want to see some more squash tonight.
That's an amazing length by Saurav.
It's one of the best lengths he's hit all match. And what a time to come up with it.
9-7.
Puts himself within 2 points of this title.
Exceptional squash at display.
Hand out 8-9.
Both players really bringing out the best in one another.
Nicolas still interacting with the crowd.
Real showman.
It's just amazing to see how he can do that at this stage in such a big event, in the final of such a big event. The ball just clipping the top of the tin. Giving Saurav
And
2 match balls.
Championship ball.
Can he convert first time? Or will the Swiss Rocket make one last push?
And he does it.
And
the kids.
Okay, can I?
And it's absolute chaos here at
Match to
CCI.
Ghosal wins 3 games.
The juniors are all over the court.
11-8, 11-8.
Sorry, can I please?
An amazing final tonight. The crowd delighted to see the
Everyone
homeboy
stay seated, please. Thank you.
come out on top.
For his 7th PSA title. Absolutely fantastic squash from Saurav today. I think there's no question the fact that he
Saurav,
was the better player.
Congratulations.
Did a wonderful job as well.
How does it feel, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to win. As very simply as that. After yesterday, I had to recover really well. It was a very high quality, high intense match last night, and Nicky's done well to get through the tournament relatively unscathed. So I think I'm happy with the way I recovered, the way I put my body back together. Today as well, the last 2 times that I've played, Nicky, he's beaten me last year here and then at the Tournament of Champions in January. So it was always going to be a tough match, and like every day, I have a plan which I want to execute, which I want to, the way I want to play. Whilst doing that, I want to enjoy it as much as I can. But it's tough sometimes when Nicky's slotting the ball out, especially in the end of the third. He did really well. So I'm happy that for the majority of the match I could do what I wanted and win today in front of this crowd.
And tell us about how you were feeling coming into this tournament. You've got Hong Kong coming up. How did you feel just, fitness-wise and everything?
I mean, we've had a pretty busy start to the season. I made a call not to play the US Open in the second week of October because I just thought that there's too many events back to back, and my body's not going to be able to withstand that, and my mind as well, just gets stale. So I think that decision has been pretty good in hindsight. I did well in Channel Bass, in Qatar as well. I mean, I beat Darryl Selby first time in the first round. I lost to Diego, but he's playing really well, and obviously here winning this tournament. I've been coming here to the CCI for I don't know how long, like almost 20 years since I was a junior, and I've won a lot of junior tournaments. I did win the nationals here, so that was not the best, but Harry played really well, and I lost in the final 2 years back. And last year I lost in the quarter, so I'm happy that I could put one notch on that board or whatever in my career to win that CCI.
And final question, I mean, this is the second year out of the 4 years they've had the glass court. How does it feel to play in front of your home crowd at this venue, on this court?
I mean, I was feeling brilliant up to about 7-3, and then he started slotting it in, and I was like, am I playing in Switzerland or in Bombay? No, but I think the people want to watch a good match, highly contested match. I think we as Indians genetically love a bit of drama, so I hope I gave you a little bit of that, thanks to Nikki. But no, it's a privilege, it's an honor. This is the only PSA event we've had in India this year, and the CCI has supported the PSA over the last 4 or 5 years really well, and a big thank you to them and JSW and all the associate partners, because not just for me, but I think for all the other players playing. So for example, for Ramit, who did exceedingly well, for Harry as well, and also so many juniors watching. It gives them a great impetus to see the level of squash they need to get to be at that top 20, top 10 level. I remember when I was a kid, I was in Calcutta and there was pretty much no one there, and I used to go to tournaments and just watch, Indian domestic tournaments, and just watch, players playing, higher age groups playing, and I used to come back a better player just by watching, and all the training that I did equate to the learning and the education that I had from watching that. So I hope that, all of us over here, the Indian players, as well as all the foreign guys who stepped out onto this court have shown the juniors behind us, what needs to be done, how they need to train, how they need to prepare, how tough the tour is, how professional you need to be. Because right now we have, in the Indian scene, in the boys and the girls as well, we have the best generation that we've ever had. But it's important that the people behind us, the juniors, they back it up, because that's going to be the true test of our success. We are doing everything we can to push the envelope and push the boundaries and take it to another stratosphere altogether. Now it's up to them to, after us, to take it to another solar system altogether.
Well done. Congratulations, Saurav. Okay, we're going to take a quick 1 minute for them to set up, and then we'll have the presentation.